Welcome back to Saturday AM. We're at Aintree all morning ahead of the 170th Grand National. Now, two-time winner Ruby Walsh missed the race last year. He's very much back in contention, riding Willie Mullins' horse at Pleasant Company this afternoon. He won it back in 2000 and in 2005. In 2000, he rode his father's horse, Papillon, and I spoke to him yesterday evening and started by asking him of his memories of that famous win 17 years ago.
The National is a hugely iconic race, and I suppose the first time I won it on Papillon, the last 50 yards seemed to take forever. You know, it was nip and tuck, and he only won a length. But the second Grand National I won on Hedge Hunter, he won quite easily, and you know, the last 100 yards were enjoyable. But it's a great race, and I suppose when you're in front, you always want to get to the line. It's a hugely iconic race.
Yeah. Just take us back to that race in 2000. I mean, Aintree is a way of coming up with fairy tales, doesn't it? And like, you're riding a horse trained by your dad in the Grand National. Like, you couldn't write a script like that, could you?
No, most definitely not. And it was a huge achievement. It was a great day. It was brilliant for my career. And I guess it's something you never thought would happen. You know, Bobby Joel won the National in '99, but before that, an Irish horse hadn't won since the late '70s. So you didn't come here expecting to have any chance. You came delighted to have a ride in the race. It was great for Dad to have a runner. It was to take part was just amazing, and for him to go and win was an absolute fairy tale.
What did it mean for you in your career? Like, we know you all as the multiple champion jockey, but then you were just a 20-year-old kid just making your way, weren't you?
I was. I suppose I'd been champion jockey, and then I'd broken my leg and I'd missed most of that season. So you know, racing is like every other sport. When you're out of sight, you're out of mind. So you know, Papillon put me back on the big stage, and you know, to win here was incredible. It was the English National. It was enormous. It's hard to put words on it. It was just an incredible day.
Was it? I mean, as someone who grew up watching all sorts of sports, I always remember tuning into the Grand National, and it was the race that everybody watched. For a racing family, you know, that racing is part of your day-to-day, your everyday. Was it of that level as well?
Oh yeah, but it was a race you never thought you'd win. You could, at some stage, hope you might get on the best horse and you could win a Gold Cup. But the English National is different. It doesn't matter if you're riding the best horse. There's so much luck involved. You know, it's not a race you ever think that, yeah, someday I'm going to win that. You can't even think that way. You just have to be very lucky to win it. And I've been very, very lucky. But Papillon was special.
Very special, yeah. You talk about luck there, and like your status in the game now. You do get to ride a lot of great horses, obviously with Willie at the moment. Here, as you say, there is an element of fortune. I mean, it's 50 years since Foynaven. Like, you know, you literally anything could happen. Like, how do you actually approach a race and prepare for it with that state of mind?
So I suppose you kind of take it in stages. I mean, to me, I'd make a plan as to what I want to do down over the first three fences, and then if we're still in the race at the back of the third, you kind of make a plan as what you're going to do from there to Beecher's Brook, and from Beecher's Brook to the Canal Turn, and from the Canal Turn back to the Mellon Road. You break it down in your own mind as you're going along, but you can't write a script and make a plan and decide that's what you're going to do, because it can all change at the first. So I suppose the National, more than any race, you have to have a very open mind.
Is it as it's obviously the fences are a lot smaller, and people say maybe the challenge isn't what it used to be. I mean, obviously safety is paramount now. How do you feel they've got the balance between the challenge and the safety?
They haven't made them smaller, they've probably made them softer, but there's still plenty of fallers tomorrow. You know, they've made places for the loose horses to run out, so there's not as many loose horses in the race, but it's still a huge challenge, and you have to jump and really stay to win.
Yeah, and we know obviously it's part of your job. You experience falls. Katie had one this week that thankfully seemed to come out the right side of. I mean, with a race like the National, is there that sense in the back of your mind that it's there, that the falls could be higher and hurt a bit more?
No, I suppose you're going out, you don't think you're going to be the one who's going to get a fall. You think it's going to be somebody else. I suppose that's the naivety of being a jockey, but no, I wouldn't be thinking that way.
Does the 37-year-old Ruby, is he fear them a bit more than the 20-year-old or less? Or
I don't think so. I don't know. I suppose you go out thinking about avoiding fallers, not actually being a faller.
Yeah, that's a good way to think about it. Well, listen, tell us about Pleasant Company then. What are your hopes for him? Tell us a little bit more about him today.
Look, he's a 9-year-old. He seems to be in good form. He's a nice weight and he's back with 10 stone 12. We think he'll stay. He's usually a good jumper. He has a bit of pace, so tactically you should be able to get into the right decisions on him. And we think he's a good chance.
What do you look for in a Grand National horse in general? There could be people watching this that maybe don't back horses from day to day. What are the little tips of the trade?
There's no set formula. If there was, it'd be easy. Look, you have to have stamina, but to go with, sometimes you get stamina, you get very slow horses. You have to have a little bit of pace around the entry because you need to be able to tactically get into the positions you want to be in. Obviously, you need a good jumper and a horse who's able to think on his feet. The horse has to be able to avoid fallers as well. And you need a horse who then has the temperament to take the occasion. I mean, this place is sold out tomorrow, 70-odd thousand. It'll be a huge atmosphere, so you need a horse with a good temperament.
It's going to be massive, yeah. I mean, you've talked before about how as a jockey you lose more than you win. Just talking about Cheltenham for a moment, you had this bizarre week where you have 2 days and nothing, and then this incredible Thursday that you had winning the 4 races. I mean, I guess that's just you know, you have to deal with the disappointments and process them and get back on the horse, as it were.
Yeah, you actually have to keep moving forward. You can't look back. I mean, what's gone is gone. I mean, you might have left Cheltenham and thought about it the week after, but there and then you have to keep moving forward. I mean, racing is like a series of matches, one after the other, and then you can't think about the match that's just over. You have to think about the next one. That's history. You can sit down and analyse it all when you go home, but when you're in the middle of it, you just have to keep looking forward.
Yeah. Well, looking forward now, I mean, if you look over the last few years, 2010, I think 2014, 2016, injuries, you missed out here. They are precious now, aren't they, Ruby? I'm not saying you're getting on or anything, but are you coming? Are you coming?
Sounds to me like, yeah.
Are you coming to your last few? Do you think?
I definitely have ridden it more than I'm going to ride it anyway. But yeah, sure. I don't think of it that way. Every year you're here and you're lucky enough to have a ride, and it's a good year.
So you have a few more visits to Aintree and a few more trips to the Grand National. Maybe make it 3.
You never know. Keep trying anyway.
Ruby and Red Rum. 3.
Yeah.
Good company.
It would do.
And you can see if Ruby makes history live on TV3 this afternoon. Coverage of the Grand National starts at 2 o'clock with the big race off at 5:15. That's it for now. More from Saturday AM after this short break.